From Champlin Park High School, a beautiful evening for Legion Baseball. It's our Legion Baseball season opener on QCTV under sunshiny skies on a beautiful grass field. It's Champlin hosting Anoka here tonight on QCTV. As we mentioned, it's the first baseball summer broadcast of the season. I'm Jim Erickson, joined by Coach Pete Hayes. Pete, fresh off of the high school season, both of these teams eager to go. Anoka's already opened up their season. They opened up at home last night, a nice 3-2 tight victory over Buffalo, and now it's Champlin here for this Anoka club, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. You know, summer baseball is always fun. It comes after a tough, grueling high school season and some cold weather and rainy weather, and then you get into the sunshine, and that's when baseball is meant to be played. And like you said, Anoka had an opportunity to play last night. A lot of the same kids that were on the high school team, and Champlin, this is their first one tonight, so they're going to see what they can do in this opener.
There you see the lineup for head coach Don Gowerluck, the Legion head coach. 31st year of coaching for Coach Gowerluck, his sixth season here with the Anoka Legion. He, of course, was at Andover for 15 seasons, and he was here early on in the Champlin Park High School era when they first opened their high school back in the 1990s. He was an assistant early on in Champlin Park High School, but here he is leading the Anoka Legion here. Poser, Bruner, you see Cherry, Nedlin doing the pitching. He'll be on the mound in the bottom half of the inning. There's Logan Jaeger. You got Luke Folstrom, Evan Freckings at third, Marshall Rassitz out in right, and Tyler Pachta in second base. And you look at this lineup for Anoka, Pete, and they do have a mix of guys that have graduated, guys that played a lot on the high school team, and some guys that didn't have a lot of high school time and looking to get that experience for next year.
You know, that's the nice thing, Jim, with Don Gowerluck helps us on the varsity level and takes a look at these kids. You know, I do the VFW with Coach Bomstead, so we get an opportunity to see these kids play another 30, 40 games. So it's a great opportunity for kids to progress and hopefully help out the varsity someday.
You see the Champlin Legion out in the field. Cohen, George, Vendel in the outfield left to right. Carlson at third. Oxborough short. Sandell's the second baseman. Yanish is the first baseman. McGee back behind the plate. And Tanner Wiley will get the start coming up here tonight. Tanner Wiley, wearing number 31, was a sophomore last year. Is going to be a junior this upcoming season for high school as Sam Poser steps in for Anoka against Wiley. And the first pitch is a called strike. Strike one for Poser. Poser at shortstop. Graduated from Anoka High School here this spring. He's a grad. One strike here to him. Wiley, right-hander, delivers and misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Poser was a big part of the team 2 years ago that went to the state tournament for Anoka. Slick shortstop for Anoka.
And the 1-1 to Poser. Gets a bat on it, fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Poser hit .219 in the high school season with an RBI, 16 hits, and 73 at-bats. Again, last night's final was 3-2 against Buffalo. Provancha was the winning pitcher last night for Anoka. The 1-2 pitch from Wiley. Fouled back again. Good battle here, 1-2 with Bruner and Cherry due up here in the top half of the first inning.
Wiley seems to have some pretty good velocity, Jim, on his fastball. Like to see him mixing a curveball right here. It looks like he's come all fastball, so we've yet to see that curve or that changeup.
Wiley to the Anoka leadoff man in the top of the first. Off the end of the bat to the right side. That's in the parking lot. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There was one that had a little bit of a bend to it and had pretty good velocity on it, too. So nice looking sophomore here for Champlin Park.
First Legion game of the season for Champlin. And the 1-2. On the ground to the left side. Oxborough at short, backhand. Plants, throws, and got him by half a step. 1 out. Poser's retired.
Yeah, that was a close play right there. Sam Poser hustling down the line. He thought he was safe, but I believe a good call by the umpire. And 1 out here for Anoka in the top of the first.
Here's Hunter Bruner, left fielder, coming off his sophomore season. He'll step in against Wiley. 1 down, nobody on. The Wiley delivery, swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Yeah, Bruner was the leading hitter for Anoka this past season, left-handed left fielder.
Hit .319 with 6 runs batted in for Coach Shannon Blanset. Just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. I walked on the field. This field, it looks like a turf field. I mean, it is in just beautiful shape. Unbelievable. Oh, good shape the field is here at Champlin Park High School. 1 ball, 1 strike on the ground. Oxborough another chance. This time he didn't have to backhand. Makes the easy play over. 2 up, 2 down.
No, we were talking about it earlier, but they really do take nice care of this field, you know. And the stands that they put in here, it's just a beautiful field. You know, the turf looks like the turf at Target Field or CHF Field.
I wanted to lay down in it as I was walking from dugout to dugout. Put down a blanket. Didn't even need a blanket. Here's another one. Oxborough will tie a record held by many with 3 assists here. All 3 out, 6-3. Here in the top half of the first inning is Braden Cherry on a pitch, the DH, who graduated this spring, grounds out. 3 up, 3 down. Good start by Tanner Wiley and Champlin. As we'll go to the bottom of the first inning, Anoka comes up scoreless, and Champlin coming to the plate.
Yeah, Oxborough, you couldn't have wrote it any better being a shortstop. They were all 2 hoppers right to him, no difficulty at all, and good throws over to first base. So, you know, if we have innings like that, we won't be here very long. And I know that Parker Nedlin for Anoka, he's a pitcher who typically throws strikes. So teams are going to have opportunities to hit tonight, and fielders will have opportunities to field. And as a fielder, you always like your guy throwing strikes. You don't have to stand around out there. And it looks like we're going to see that from both pitchers tonight.
There you see the lineup. It's, in fact, co-head coaches. Spencer Robinson and Carl Sorensen are going with as co-head coaches. Spencer Robinson was the head coach last year. Carl Sorensen, a former St. Cloud State Husky 2015 grad, played for Pat Dolan over there at St. Cloud State. He is the co-head coach along with Spencer Robinson. You see Shorenstein, Oxborough, Carlson, then McGee, Cohen, Janisch, Sandell, Vendel, and Reese George out in center field batting 9th. And on the mound here for Anoka is Parker Nedlin. Parker Nedlin graduated. He was a senior this past year, and again, he played in 11 games, 11 appearances, 5-4 on the season. He had 5 of the Tornadoes' 9 wins on the season. 64 hits, 19 earned runs, a 2.39 ERA, 55 2/3 innings pitched. Again, a 5-4 record for the Tornadoes. 39 strikeouts and 10 walks for Parker Nedlin.
Yeah, we used him a little bit this year.
Well, you ride your horse. You got an ace, right?
That's right.
Jack Morris.
Yeah, and Parker's going to River Falls next year to pitch.
Here's the first pitch from Nedlin, and the leadoff man is Brady Shorenstein, the DH. He's a junior this past spring, and he fouls it away. 1 strike. Shorenstein, Oxborough, and Carlson. Here in the bottom of the first, no score. The 1-strike pitch just missed off the outer part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
River Falls a new program this coming season, so he should get a lot of opportunities.
I did not know that. They have not had baseball?
No, I did not know that. I was very surprised.
Pitch low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the Nedlin 2-1. Working quickly here, the right-hander to the plate. In off the handle and pulled foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Champlin, their high school season this year, went 11-9. 6-6 in the Northwest Suburban. In Section 5, they lost their first 2 games. They were 2 and out, 4-3 to Maple Grove and 1-0 to Irondale. So a couple of 1-run losses in the section playoffs, and of course the state tournament all set for next week.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising seeing Champlin go down in their first 2. They have a couple of really good pitchers on that team, and I was a little bit surprised that they 2 and out.
3 balls and 2 strikes now with that pitch from Nedlin missing just inside. Leadoff man here for Champlin. Nobody out. Called strike 3. Shorenstein thought he had ball 4, but Nedlin had him frozen. And Nedlin gets a strikeout looking, 1 down.
Yeah, nice fastball, high rising fastball there by Nedlin. Never want to go down looking, you know. Don't get cheated is what I always say. Make sure you're swinging at anything close.
Here's the shortstop, Chase Oxborough. He was busy in the top half of the inning, and he hits it through the hole on the left side between Frecking and Poser, as he had 3 assists on the putouts in the top of the inning, and he gets a base hit here on a pitch.
Well, he's thinking to himself right now, I'm going to have a night.
Yeah,
you know,
he is having a night.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing, too. You know, at first inning, you get 3 touches, kind of gets you the blood flowing a little bit, right? You know, there's some fielders that don't touch the ball the entire game sometimes.
Exactly.
He's got 3 touches already, and that's typical kind of for shortstop to get a lot of touches. Here's a high drive by Nick Carlson. This one is gone. Nick Carlson batting third in the lineup, the senior third baseman. The wind is blowing out to center and left center, and he got that one up into the jet stream and hit over the DQ sign, and it's 2-0 Champlin on a 2-run bomb by Nick Carlson.
You know, the wind's blowing out, Jim, but that ball was ripped, you know, and that's the way you want to start off your summer, hitting a 2-run home run out to left field. He's got to feel really good about himself, and Champlin finds themselves up by a couple.
You know, Parker trying to get ahead of Carlson, and that one he just left it up in the zone there, and Carlson tattooed it. So base is now empty. 2-0 Champlin here, bottom of the first. And that'll bring up the catcher, Kellen McGee. Just finished his junior season for the Rebels. Nedlin's first pitch, nice change, and he's out in front. 1 strike, and that's something here for Parker. Still early in the game as a pitcher, young pitcher. Whether, you know, young in the age sense, even though he's a grad and he graduated this spring, just to shake that off. 1 strike.
Yeah, not a whole lot gets to Parker Nedland. And the McGee kid up right here is, you know, just a junior, and he's a catcher, and he's a really good catcher. People don't run on him much at all. Nice looking player for Champlin.
1 ball and 1 strike to Kellen McGee with Aaron Cohen on deck. Nedland with 1 out. A couple of runs in. That just missed low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tornadoes in their high school season didn't have the record that they wanted. 9-16, 4-8 in the Northwest Suburban, but he had a nice run in the section. There's a called strike at the knees on the outer part, and it's 2-2.
You know, there's 2 ways to look at that, Jim, as a coach. You really try to get your team ready for playoffs.
Right.
You know, that's really important, trying to get to a state tournament. But it's also fun if you have a good record for 3 months. We were in agony for 3 months.
Right, yes, yeah, that's true.
But I'll tell you what, the last couple of weeks in those playoffs was a lot of fun.
Fun.
It's kind of nice, like the year before where we won during the year and won in the playoffs.
3-2 pitch off the end of the bat, fouled back, so it continues here at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the Tornadoes had to defeat Coon Rapids, Blaine. Then they lost to Forest Lake 3-0, came back through the loser's bracket, defeated and eliminated Blaine 4-1. This one's pulled foul. Played over at third by co-head coach Spencer Robinson, and then went back into the finals and had to defeat, if they were going to win the section, needed to defeat Forest Lake twice, but lost in that potential the first 2 games there in the championship series, 2-0. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Nedland gets McGee to swing over the top of that. 2 down, 2 strikeouts here this inning for Parker Nedland.
I'll tell you what, Forest Lake is no slouch either. They have a good number 1 pitcher that they'll throw in that first game of the state tournament. Got some guys who can hit, but the problem is they're playing Farmington in the first game, and Farmington, what I hear, has 9 Division I players.
Oh, my.
It. Yes. And they might not even win it because Wayzata hasn't lost a game all year.
Should be some good games, of course, at CHS Field. Here's Aaron Cohen on the ground through that thick grass, lush and plush grass, and it's played there by Fulstrom. And he'll make the play himself over at first. Cohen's retired here. 2 runs in the inning here for Champlin. 2 runs, couple of hits. Of course, the big hit, the 2-run homer by Nick Carlson. We played 1, and it's Champlin 2 and Anoka nothing.
Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce inviting you to watch this month's edition of the Chamber Report. Summer is here. Things don't slow
Pete
down at the
Turok
Chamber.
ever
They
not be
ramp
the
up
Chamber
at the Chamber.
president?
We've got 2 major events coming up in July. You're going to hear about what those are and how you can participate. And then it's the part you like best. It's member profiles, a chance for you to meet some of the over 600 members of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. All of that is coming up on this edition of the Chamber Report. Hope you watch.
We're at Champlin Park High School. Wind blowing out to left center and left field here, along with Pete Hayes. I'm Jim Erickson. We're at Champlin Park High School, which is actually in Brooklyn Park, not in Champlin. But the Legion's in Champlin, so I guess you just say Champlin then, or do you still say Champlin Park? It's a good question. What do they put on their score sheet here? It says Champlin.
It says
say Champlin on the scorecard.
I would say Champlin.
Although they don't have a Legion anymore, because that's a Willie McCoy's.
No, they do not.
So it must be a different post. And I like to try and give the posts a plug. And of course the Anoka post, they do a great job right there. Very active Legion post. The Edward Cutter post number 102.
Well, the sad thing, Jim, is we're losing a lot of those.
Yes,
posts
we are.
right
Yes,
now.
yeah.
VFW,
right.
I coach VFW, and they ask us what our VFW affiliation is, and I put 1 because we don't have a VFW.
Right.
So somebody picks us up in the league, and there needs to be somebody that I have to thank.
Here we go to the second inning. Top of the second, Anoka trailing it here 2-0. Logan Jaeger, Luke Fulstrom, and Evan Frecking. The batters here with their team down 2-0, and Tanner Wiley rears back for a fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1 here by Jaeger.
You know, Jagger's just a sophomore this year, was the starting catcher for Anoka, and really never had an opportunity for him to pitch. He's also a good pitcher and didn't have that opportunity this past year with Luke DeShane being hurt, but he's a good-looking young player for Anoka.
Might get a chance to pitch in the summer, though.
I think he will. Nope, I think he will. 1
ball, 1 strike. Called a strike, 1-2. Jaeger in the high school season hit 196, just under 200, 10 for 51, 7 runs batted. As we mentioned, just wrapped up his sophomore year. The 1-2, a sweeper. That's way outside, 2-2. Jaeger did not chase.
It's tough coming in as a sophomore. You know, now he's got 25 games under his belt. He'll get another 30 or 40 games this summer, and you should be ready to go next year.
2-2. Off the end of the bat to short. Sandell. 4 outs here so far for Tanner Wiley, all ground outs. First one that wasn't to short. This time Oxborough said, Sandell, you can take it. And Sandell, the second baseman, on a 4-3 scoring play. 1 down. And it's Luke Fulstrom.
Yeah, he's not really fooling anybody here early. He has good velocity and has thrown that curveball once in a while here, but he's getting ground balls, and that's all you can ask.
Against the left-handed swinging Luke Fulstrom, it's low, ball 1. Fulstrom, 243 hitter, and a couple of runs batted in, 9 hits, 37 at-bats for the Tornadoes in the high school season. The Wiley pitch. Inside out swing goes the other way, and on the run, losing his hat is Cohen, but he catches the ball, fighting the sun. Left field here at Champlin is the sun field. Did a nice job. Looks like he's got sunglasses on out there, and he made the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, I didn't think he saw that right off the bat. Kind of got a late jump on it. Thought that might get into the alley, but he picked it up late and made a nice catch out there in left field.
So now with 2 down, nobody on. 5 up, 5 down here for Wiley so far. And here's the number 6 hitter in the order, Evan Frecking. Senior this past season at third base here tonight. Looks inside. 1 ball. Frecking, 243 in the high school season. Led the team with 12 runs batted in. 18 for 74. And here's the 1-0 to him. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. If Frecking gets on, it'll be Marshall Rassett.
Yeah, Frecking had a bad shoulder this year and wasn't able to pitch, and that that hurt us at the high school level here. I know he's going on to play some college football next year. Wishing him luck there. Big, tall kid. Put a little weight on him, and he could be a force to be reckoned with.
3 balls and no strikes. Was that a football injury?
That was a football injury, yeah, and he also played basketball.
Swing and a miss, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 down and nobody on.
He's got a little sister who's a pretty good athlete, a good basketball player. She's going to be going to St. Thomas on a scholarship. She's only a junior.
Wiley ready with 2 down. Anoka looking for their first base runner. This will be bounced foul. Left side in front of the Champlin dugout. 3-2 now.
Yeah, Frecking taking a hack at 3-0. He saw that one go out with the wind here early. He thought maybe I'll try to do the same thing.
Right back off the glove of Wiley, and that's going to be a base hit. So Anoka has their first base runner, infield hit. Wiley falling off on the first base side. He reached back, got a glove on it, but just unable to flag it down. And Frecking's the first base runner here for Anoka with 2 outs.
Marshall Rassett, he's another kid who's going to River Falls in that new program.
And here is Rassett, senior this past season, right fielder, takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Rassett at 205, 9 hits, 44 at-bats. Had an RBI during the high school season. Out in right field here tonight. 1-0 to him outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Champlin Park is very similar to Anoka. It has a nice mix of underclassmen and seniors. So some of those underclassmen getting an opportunity to play a lot of baseball this summer.
2-0. Low. So Wiley had been cruising along and then gave up that single and actually worked the count full to Frecking. And now he's been missing the strike zone a little bit here and has fallen behind 3-0.
That's a nice block right there by McGee.
And the throw to first, and it gets past Janish, the first baseman. And Frecking will run to second on the air. First air charge to either team here on the throw over to first. And Anoka's got a runner in scoring position here.
Yeah, they're down 2-0 here early. You'd like to get that one in, get on the board here early in this game.
It's a 3-0 count. Wiley the set. Big leg kick, delivers on the outside corner, gets that one across, 3-1. Pakta on deck if Rassett can extend the inning. Champlin post number 600 is the post that sponsors baseball here for Champlin Park in the area. That's low and away, ball 4. Frecking at second, Rassett at first. Anoka, something brewing for them here with 2 down in the top of the second inning. And here comes the number 8 hitter in the order, Tyler Pakta.
Did you just look that up on your own time there, Jim?
Post 600?
Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah. Just, have to use technology sometimes. When I can. On the ground towards the hole. That'll be in left for a base hit. Frecking to third as Cohen came in, really charged and got to it. And the ball wasn't hit extremely hard. And I tell you what, this grass, it looks so nice. It is very thick and plush, and ground balls are just dying in it. And Frecking will have to stop at third. Rassett at second. Pakta with a base hit. And the bases are loaded for the number 9 hitter, Clay Bernard.
Conan was not deep at all on that one. Or Cohen. There's a balk.
Oh, and a balk. Everybody moves up. And a run scored. It's 2-1. Well, you don't see that too often. A balk forcing a run into the game. But a balk charge to Tanner Wiley, the infield umpire, made the call, Pete.
You do not see that very often, but that tells you that the umpire on the field is paying attention, and I always like that one there. Sometimes you get those guys out there and they're falling asleep, and this this guy obviously was not, and Anoka was gifted a run and have a chance right here to take the lead with a single.
No RBI awarded. Frecking came in to score. Rassett to third. Pacht is at second. And the batter is Bernard. Hit on a hop. Oxborough spears it, throws it across for the out. But Anoka rallies. They had 2 out and nobody on. And then they got the single, the walk, and then the single. And then the balk that scored the run. And Evan Frecking came in to score there. And it's 2-1 in favor of Champlin as we go to the bottom of the second inning here on QCTV Sports.
Yeah, Champlin Park, Oxborough there making another nice play. That ball was one of the hardest hit balls of the inning, but he just happened to be in the right place. Anoka gets a run, gets back up on the board here, and take this into the bottom of the second inning.
Positive for them. They were able to find the hole a couple of times. They've been hitting the ball, but hitting it right at the infielders here, and they were able to find the hole a couple of times in that second inning, one with the infield hit, and then the second with Pacht getting that one through the hole on the left side. As they go to the bottom half of the second inning here for Champlin. Janisch, Sandell, and Vendel here due up for Champlin. Their first game of the season. Anoka opened up with a win last night, 3-2 over Buffalo. And the Buffalo Legion, they've played some good baseball over there at the Buffalo Legion. And it was a 3-2 final at Castle Field. Castle Field's got a big 10-year celebration coming up in less than a month, the July 4th weekend, July 3rd, in fact. Celebrating 10 years at Castle Field. They'll have a celebration game. I don't know the details on that, Pete. Can you tell me the details on that? Are they going to have an old-timers game or town ball versus Legion or what?
I think it's a Alumni Legion game.
Fun.
And I think fireworks are that night. That might be the night that they have the fireworks and a bunch of food trucks. And
sounds like
a lot going on.
So here comes Champlin. Bottom of the second inning. Their lead is at 2-1. Janisch takes the pitch from Nedlin to lead off the inning. Strike one.
Janisch, a good-sized kid here for Champlin Park. Swings the bat well.
One strike from Nedlin. Breaking ball, but it stays up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Nedlin's effective when he can find the corners. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, a decent curveball. His changeup's kind of his out pitch, and a lot of kids in high school baseball and Legion baseball don't like throwing that changeup. But Nedlin's not afraid to do it, and that'll get some of those good hitters out.
1-2. Little nubber off the end of the bat, again slowed up by the grass. And waiting for it is Fulstrom, and he'll make the play over at first. Janisch retired one down.
Boy, that ball looked like it was going out of bounds, but it swerved back in with that thick grass.
That's one thing here, too. Some fields are different. Some fields have the baselines, first and third baselines, dirt between home and the bag. Here it is grass most of the way. Here's a swing and a miss by Brockton Sandell, strike one.
You know, that's really a difference maker. I don't know if it's a positive or a negative, depends upon what kind of team you are, but it makes it a little bit different bunting when you have grass like that that'll kill the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess it's a choice. Probably easier to maintain.
Easier to maintain, for sure.
0-2 is the count here in the delivery. Nedlin tried to get him to chase something away. And a good eye there by Brockton Sandell, was a junior this past season for Ryan Tom. The Rebels swing and a miss, 1-2. Got him to wave at that, 2 down. And the third strikeout of the game for Parker Nedlin, who has settled in a little bit after giving up that home run to Nick Carlson. He's retired 4 in a row.
Yeah, like I said earlier, not a whole lot gets to Parker Nedlin. He'll just go back out there and keep throwing and saying, I've done this my whole life, and we'll shut him down from here on out. You know, a lot of these ballparks now, Jim, are starting to get artificial turf on the mounds.
Yes.
And also at home plate. So not a whole lot of maintenance. You know, if you had grass lines like this and turf on home and the mound, boy, you just have the infield to work on.
Nedlin quickly getting ahead here of Donovan Vendel, the right fielder. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Bouncer again to first. Another chance for Fulstrom. And on the slow roller, he will make the play, and that's all for Champlin. they're down in order. 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down. The bottom of the second inning. We go to the third. We play 2. Here, Legion Baseball, our Legion opener on QCTV. Champlin 2 and Anoka 1.
On a typical day, local domestic violence hotlines receive over 19,000 calls, approximately 13 calls every minute. In Minnesota, over 68,000 people experiencing rape and abuse reach out to domestic and sexual violence programs for safety every year. Domestic, sexual, or relationship violence is never your fault, and everyone deserves relationships free from violence. The advocates at Alexandra House know that abuse comes in many forms, and that any behavior used to control, intimidate, or cause fear is abusive. If you or someone you know needs help, we are here to listen with confidential support 24/7, 365 at 763-780-2330 or visit alexandrahouse.org.
Pete Hayes and Jim Erickson back here. Champlin Park High School baseball field. Second or third season here with the grandstand and the press box, and did a nice job here. They kind of did this whole facility in phases, and I know they have a plan to also do the same thing over for softball, to maybe have a grandstand complex and maybe a press box. So big goings on here. And head coach, co-head coach Spencer Robinson was out there chatting with his pitcher. I don't know, he's talking about the balk. Looks like he stepped on the rubber there momentarily just to demonstrate something to his pitcher Tanner Wiley. His relatively tall, lanky right-hander here to face Sam Poser, leading it off here in the third. Just as he did in the first, he grounds it out to short. Oxborough throws him out, 6-3. Oxborough's been a busy man. That is his 5th assist, and it's 1 out.
Yeah, that's 5 out of 7 for Oxbow at shortstop. So keep doing what you're doing,
right,
young man.
Hopefully that if his glove wasn't worn in nicely and worked in, it is now.
Yes, and it's, with this infield, too, they're getting nice bounces.
Yes.
They're getting real, it's almost like playing on artificial turf.
Bruner grounded to short back in the first inning, 0 for 1. Bats here for Anoka, top of the third. Nice tight 2-1 game. He takes up and away here. Ball 1. Bruner just wrapping up his sophomore year at Anoka High School. Hit .319, as Pete mentioned earlier. There's a strike, 1-1. That was tops on the Tornadoes. .319, 22 hits, 69 at bats. Chipped in 6 runs, batted in for the 9-6 Tornadoes on the season.
Bruner's also the captain of the hockey team next year. I always liked having those hockey players on the team. Good hand-eye coordination, competitors. Him and Luke Folstrom's another hockey player.
1 ball, 2 strikes on that backdoor breaking ball that Bruner took. This one's in the dirt, 2-2. And goalies, I think, make good catchers.
I believe
and first
so.
baseman.
Yes, absolutely.
From the belt, the 2-2 delivery in the air, left center. Cohen and George both after it, and it's off of Cohen's glove. I don't think either of them called for it. That may have created some confusion over there. It's on the ground. Pete, base hit or an error on that one?
That's got to be an error.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there and it went off his glove. It wasn't like he didn't have a chance to get there, and he did. He was there. He just dropped it.
Yeah. Again, another thing, maybe the sun played a factor there, and the fact that the center fielder, George, was also bearing in on him.
Yeah, that's a center fielder's ball right there, because he could have got to it. Anytime a center fielder can get to the ball, they need to take charge. I mean, it was over into the left side, but he was able to get there. Then you just call him off.
1 ball to Braden Cherry, retired on a pitch and a bounce out to short back in the first. Cherry is DHing for Parker Nedlin. Hits this one, and Cohen able to come in and make the catch. Fought the sun a little bit as he moved in a couple of steps, a little sinking liner, but he makes the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, that's not fun, looking up into that sun when you're a left fielder. And there's times at Castle Field where that sun's right in the right position where a third baseman can't see it, and that's not a good thing.
Home plate here faces almost the exact same direction as
Yep.
Castle Field. I think if you were to look at the alignment on a map, take out a compass. As the batter is Logan Jaeger, the junior catcher, grounded to second to start out the second inning.
You know, this wouldn't be a bad section place, Jim. The only problem, I think, is you have to pay to get into those section games, and I don't know how they would keep people out of here. But otherwise, it's a great little park and
Yep.
section game. Boy, you could fill this up. Plus,
2 balls and no strikes here to Jaeger. If he gets on Luke Folstrom, yeah, you'd have to fence it off at where the little road, the entrance
right,
kind of street that goes to the parking lot. Slow roller to the left side. Nice diving play by Carlson. Up with it. Throw across the diamond. And the pick at first by Janisch. Oh, great plays on both ends. Carlson with the dive to his left, the spear. He got up and threw it, and Janisch was able to pick it out of the dirt. And that's all for Anoka in the top of the third inning. No runs, no hits in air, and they leave one on. And a spectacular play to end the inning as we played 2.5, and it's still 2-1 Champlin.
Yeah, I don't know which part was better there. It was a great diving play, and then even a better pick over there at first base. And Logan's not the quickest of feet. You know, he's a catcher.
Right, yeah.
No rip on Logan. Well, maybe it was.
Most catchers are not fleet of foot.
No, they are not. Yes. But, yeah, nice
John
play by
Wathen, he
Champlin.
is not.
Right.
John Wathen, who didn't look fleet of foot, but he set the record for stolen bases one year when he was playing with the Kansas City Royals in the 80s for stolen bases by a catcher.
Well, you know who else stole a lot of bases and didn't look like a guy who could was Yogi Berra.
Yes.
I saw a special on Yogi Berra.
But is it the biography
Yes.
that's on yes,
Netflix,
very
I
good
think.
on
Yep.
Netflix. Yeah, that was excellent.
Yep. And they said he stole a whole lot of bases.
Just that was a grittier era, was it not?
A gritty
This
era.
gritty
Yes.
is the term that I would use.
And they weren't protecting catchers back then either.
Oh, no. No, it was full linebacker on running back at home plate for years and years.
I think that was even taught.
Yes.
You know, run him over and see if he drops the ball.
And you forget that he was in left field when Bill Mazeroski hit the home run for Pittsburgh in 1960.
Really?
To win the World Series. Yogi was out in left field. He did less catching later in his career. And, of course, what a character as well.
He sure was.
And the fact that here's a high fly ball to center field. The leadoff man, Reese George, and back to get it is Bernard. And the catch is made there. 1 down. George retired. Hit it pretty well. And who was his neighbor? He grew up in the same neighborhood as somebody. Wasn't it in Cincinnati? That was in that documentary as well. And I was really surprised by who that was.
I can't come up with it right now.
And the batter, top of the order, Brady Schornstein. Struck out looking back in the first, 0 for 1 here tonight.
You know,
it is ball one here.
It is kind of amazing, though, Jim, that happens a lot where you see that, where there's a couple of kids from some little same neighborhood that make it big. You know, whether it's Division I sports or professional sports, but you look at the same little league team and there's 2 or 3 guys on there.
Joe Garagiola.
Well, yeah.
And there's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1, excuse me. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Schornstein, who's hitting for the pitcher, Tanner Wiley, tonight. 2-1 delivery, fouled to the left side, and that'll even the count 2-2.
I think Joe was more known for his announcing than his playing, but he
and
wasn't
filling
a bad
in
player.
on the Tonight Show, and he was on the Today Show, and he did game show hosting. He was versatile. There's a swing and a miss, 2-2, and Schornstein swings over the top of that Nedlin off-speed pitch. 2 down.
Well, Nedlin's kind of in a groove right now for Anoka. The ball before this was hit pretty good to center field that Bernard ran down, but if you're a hitter, you better be up there swinging.
4th strikeout of the game for him. Here is Oxborough swinging, popped up. It's in the infield. Who's going to get it? Nobody. And some miscommunication. Nedlin got out of there. he got out of dodge, and it landed closest to the mound. I think Frecking, Folstrom, and Jaeger didn't know what was going on. They didn't know that it was their ball to play, so it's basically a pop-up infield hit for Oxborough. Hard to tell what happened there, Pete.
Well, Nedlin got out of there, and that's the way we teach you for the pitcher to get out of there. Might have had to stay a little bit longer there. That catcher, that definitely is not his ball, because you want a catcher with his back to the infield when they catch it, and he had a long ways to go. I'm guessing that was probably Frecking's ball right there since it landed on the left side. He might not have saw it because of the sun.
1 strike the pitch here to Carlson, so the inning continues. That ends a string of 7 consecutive retired by Parker Nedlin with 2 down. 1 strike to Nick Carlson. Of course, he's going to want to be careful with Nick a little bit here. He's the one who hit the 2-run homer back in the first inning. A deep fly ball to left field. 1 strike to him. Nedlin gets ahead, and he delivers just inside, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, this is the guy you probably want up. He hit a 2-run home run already. He's in your number 3 hole, and the team makes an error. Yeah, wonder if he might cost him.
Runner goes. Pitch is a strike. Here's the throw. The tag just a little bit late. Looked like the throw was going to be there, but then on the hop, it slowed it up, and it's a stolen base for Oxborough as he slides in head first. He's on at second, and now 1-2 to Carlson.
Well, there he is in scoring position. Good speed on second base.
Nedlin 1-2, 2 down, 2-1 game, popped up. Catcher Jaeger, foul territory, is there, and he makes the catch. So Anoka makes sure that infield, we didn't give him an error because nobody touched it, but it was a miscue. But it didn't end up hurting him in the end here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Champlin. No runs, a hit, and they leave 1 on. We played 3 already tonight here at Champlin Park High School. Champlin 2, Anoka 1 on QCTV Sports.
What do you think of when you hear the name 4-H? I bet you didn't think of performing arts, engineering projects, or training your dog in agility. But it's all of these things and more. 4-H is Minnesota's largest youth development organization, and we follow a hands-on, learn-by-doing model. Youth in grades kindergarten through 1 year past high school follow their own sparks and interests as they develop skills like teamwork and community service that will last them a lifetime. There are so many ways to engage in 4-H. You can join a community or project club, attend camp, or participate in a one-time workshop. So no matter what you're interested in, from horses to photography, rocket building to fashion, there is something for all youth in 4-H. Contact our Anoka County office and we'll help you get started. We'll see you in 4-H.
Top of the 4th here, and Wildlife Watch. This wildlife update brought to you by Pete Hayes. Beautiful looking mallard duck there.
There it is.
Almost looked like a decoy.
You know, being the duck hunter that I am, I'm waiting. I don't know the speed of this game. I might not be able to see the mallards go into that pond out there behind left field. That's always kind of fun for me. You know, when the evening comes around, they're diving in there here in Champlin.
Just hanging out there on the dock. Not a bad plan. That duck's got a pretty good idea how to spend a nice, beautiful evening.
He sure does.
Notice he didn't have a cold drink in one hand or one wing and maybe a fishing pole in the other.
You know, and that's a possibility too. At least they could have made it look that way. And
right. Superimpose. With video technology now, we certainly could have done that.
Absolutely.
As we go to the 4th already, we played 3 innings. Top of the 4th for Anoka, Luke Folstrom, Evan Frecking, and Marshall Rassett. Anoka scored their run in the 2nd inning with 2 down. Frecking with a single, went to second on an error. Rassett walked, Pakta with a single, bases were loaded, and then Frecking came in to score with a bases-loaded balk. And the batter, Folstrom, for Anoka, takes outside 1-0. And I can't remember. It happened so fast. I can't remember if Wiley went from the set or the wind. A lot of teams will do that in that scenario. The base is loaded, runner at third to prevent the balk from scoring a run. So you don't see that too often because a lot of times teams will go to the wind instead of this.
I thought he was in the windup, but I could be wrong.
1-0 to Fulstrom. And there's a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. You can still balk from the wind.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just it's that whole set. Not coming to a set is the big threat, I think, for when you're working from the set. From the wind here is Wiley. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, Coach.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm just talking from what little I know.
You know, any little shrug is called a box.
Yeah.
So.
Anything that is deemed as a way to try and fake out the runner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Wiley's done a nice job out there for Champlin Park and throwing strikes, but he lost him there.
Yeah, that was 3-2, on the count. So ball 4, and Fulstrom heads to first. And Wiley's got a little 3/4 on him. He drops down a little bit. And he did there a couple of times in that at-bat, it appeared. Fulstrom on at first. Here's Evan Frecking, singled, scored the only run of the game for Anoka as they trail it here 2-1, top of the 4th inning.
As a coach, you always hate walking the leadoff guy. Just drives me crazy.
So many times walks will haunt as Frecking swings and misses there, up and away, 1 strike.
Yeah, Frecking kind of helped him out on that one. But Wiley's been right around the strike zone for the most part tonight.
1 strike to Frecking, Rassett on deck. Both these teams with busy first weeks here in the Legion season. Anoka's already played a game. Low and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. After tonight, Anoka plays tomorrow. They host Blaine. Thursday, they host Osseo. This weekend, they clear the schedule for grad parties and will play again on Tuesday at Maple Grove. Meanwhile, Champlin, they've got to schedule this scheduled tournament. Bouncer, speared, Wiley's got it. Fires it to second, but the second baseman was behind the bag. So everybody's going to be safe. It'll be a fielder's choice, putting Frecking on at first. And Anoka here has 2 on and nobody out.
Well, there was a little miscommunication right there, so you're not sure whether both the second baseman and shortstop played on the varsity this last year. Otherwise, you'd say they should know what's going on. But right there, Oxborough did not go to cover the base, and the second baseman thought he was going to, and he was going to back him up, and he was 5 feet behind second base. So miscommunication right there, and I can see where that can happen if they weren't your regular shortstop and second baseman. I know Oxbow was the shortstop this year for Champlin. Not positive on the second baseman, Sandell.
Now, you don't see the pitcher try and start a lot of double plays. It does happen, though. You're kind of right in the middle, no man's land. And that's one, too, as the players gain experience. When there's a runner at first, they kind of sometimes talk about, okay, if this person gets this, I'm covering and so forth, right?
Right. And, you know, you go over that kind of stuff. And that was the right play. It's just that neither of the short or the second baseman were there.
Rassett bats, and he does square to bunt. Champlin was thinking about him doing it, and a throw down to second. And that's going to make it a moot point that they weren't covering second because Fulstrom gets picked off, 1 out.
That's McGee right there. You don't run on this kid, and he's loving it right now as a catcher. And you just can't do that as a base runner, you know, knowing this kid's arm and all the Anoka kids do. So that's a big mistake for Anoka and a great play for Champlin Park and McGee.
So Frecking remains at first. The Wiley set pitch hits the inside corner in the inner black. With now 1 out, and on deck, Tyler Pakta.
Yeah, Anoka looking to get the bunt down and move him to second and third, and instead they got an out and a couple strikes and a runner on first.
The 0-2 pitch. Here's a slap after he showed bunt right to the bag at second, and an easy 6-3 double play. That's all for Anoka in the top of the 4th, so an inning that really started with a whole lot of promise with the walk and then the 2 runs on, nobody out, the pickoff, and then the 6-3 double play does them in here to end the 4th inning. For Anoka, no runs, no hits. They leave 1 on, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 3.5 here, and it's still 2-1 Champlin.
Yeah, Coach Garlick talking to Fulstrom there, trying teaching moment, and trying to let him know, this is what you need to do. You can't make those kind of mistakes. And Folstrom being a young player, he should learn from that. Don's a good teacher for Anoka. And like you talked about earlier, he's been in the game a long time. I know he's one of the coaches in the All-Star Series coming up here, but he loves the game of baseball, and he loves his players too.
Bottom of the fourth inning coming up here for Champlin. Kellen McGee, Aaron Cohen, and Max Janisch. For Champlin, the start of their season tonight. They'll be at home tomorrow against Armstrong. Thursday, they host Brooklyn Park. And then they head to Alexandria Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll play Glenwood Lowry on Friday, Marshall and Centennial on Saturday, and also a yet-to-be scheduled game or scheduled opponent on Sunday at the Alexandria Legion tournament. Then they get back into regular season action at Coon Rapids coming up on Tuesday, June 18th.
I mean, that's a lot of baseball.
It is. You got to cram it in. It's just so short, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, as a player, I used to love playing in the summertime because you didn't have school.
Right.
You're a baseball player, and when it got rained out, I was upset. But you know what? You got a game the next day if it gets rained out, and you got a game the day after that. And if you keep hitting, you stay in the lineup.
Here's McGee to lead it off. The catcher had the nice pickoff, like strong snap throw down to second base to pick off Folstrom back in the top half of the inning. Takes ball one here. He struck out. There's a strike. Struck out back in the first inning. One of 4 strikeout victims here for Parker Nedlin, the right-hander, in a 2-1 game. Anoka trailing Champlin here. Nedlin to the plate on the fly. Frecking knocks it down, throws it across, and makes the catch. Had it go off his glove, but for his benefit, it basically dropped right there, and he was able to pick it off and quickly throw over to first to get McGee one out.
Yeah, Frecking didn't panic right there. That ball was a bullet right at him, but he didn't panic. He took his time, picked it up, knew he had a lot of time, and threw out McGee for the first out of the inning.
Here comes Aaron Cohen. Graduated this spring here, seniors past season. Grounded out to first, 0 for 1.
Yeah, Nedlin once again getting up in the count. He's been doing that a lot here today. Looking for him to come probably with the curveball here. He might even throw a changeup.
1 strike. And delivers it low and away, 1-1.
I think that was his changeup right there.
He has done a nice job, just giving up 3 hits and only 1 since that 2-run home run by Nick Carlson, which is the difference. Fly ball to the right side. Rassett in right field. Drifts a little bit to right center. Makes the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, and that one, I believe, was that pop-up to the infield. That's probably a hit.
Right. Yes, that's the only one.
Since nobody got a glove on it.
Yep, I've ruled it a hit. Seeing that you and I are the official, serving as the official scores. 2 down for Janisch. And he'll take strike 1. Again, Nedlin starting out with a strike. Janisch tonight also grounded to first. 0 for 1 tonight.
Well, we have no announcer up here or scoreboard, but the mic's right here. Maybe we'll do Take Me Out to the Ballpark.
Well, I don't know. I didn't warm up. Here's a roller, and it gets through the hole. Actually, not quite. The hole's got knocked down. Poser got to it, with Frecking also cutting in front. That'll be an infield hit here for Janisch. So the last 2 hits have been infield hits. And Janisch on at first. A 2-out base runner for Brockton Sandell.
Now, if you're Nedlin, you want to get out right here with Sandell. And then you can start out with the 8-9-1. Instead of getting around to that top of that order with nobody out, you want to try to make some hay with the bottom of the lineup.
Champlin batting in the bottom of the 4th inning in what has been a quick-moving game here tonight. Nedlin sets, delivers. Fastball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check that, just 1 strike here to Sandell. With 2 down, Vendel would bat. Sandell struck out his first at bat. And the swing and a miss was not a foul tip, as that'll be a pass ball or a wild pitch, allowing Janisch to head to second.
Yeah, I think that was a pass ball right there. Logan Jager didn't move the feet too well there, and now it puts a runner in scoring position. And in a game like this, it could be a big play.
Yeah, Champlin up 2-1. Both runs in that first inning. 2-run homer from Nick Carlson. Nedlin trying to end it here. The 0-2 pitch popped up, straight back, and not a play.
Yeah, this is where you don't want to give him anything too good with an 0-2 count. Try to pick those corners.
Sandell will be a senior in the fall. Nedlin coming 0-2 again. Popped up. This is in play. First baseman Folstrom. Couple of steps in. Makes a catch. It's all for Champlin. They're down in the bottom of the fourth inning. They get the 2-out infield hit, but that's it. They leave one on. We played 4 and moved to the 5th. Still, Champlin 2 and Anoka 1 on QCTV Sports.
Hello, I am Judge Francis Green, co-host of the District Court Show. On our next episode, we will speak with Judge Viet Han Winshow, a recent judicial appointee in Washington County. She will share with us her background and insights as she begins her new role. We will also speak with our very own co-host, the newly elected Chief Judge of the 10th Judicial District. We will also speak with Sean Gibbs, our new Assistant Chief Judge. So the next show promises to be an interesting and informative dialogue. So be sure to tune in to the next episode of the District Court Show.
We are in the 10th Judicial District. We are also in District 10 for American Legion Baseball. How about that? What a coincidence. As 10th District, always good teams. Of course, we're on the north end here of District 10. And a lot of good teams have been coming out of this district, and they've done a little bit of rearranging over the years as well. But it's been good to see some Minnesota teams over the years do well in regional play as well, and getting to that Legion Baseball World Series, which seems like a long ways away, but really it isn't. Think about the end of July.
Yeah, the
right?
summer's
Early
moving
August,
right around.
It's already here and closing in on mid-June. As Anoka will have 8-9 on the top of their order in the top of the 5th inning. Pacta, Bernard, and Sam Poser.
Champlin Park has a new pitcher in the game. It's the third baseman, Carlson, is now moved in to the pitching mound.
Nick Carlson. Tanner Wiley went 4 innings. We'll get his line here in just a bit. Of course, Nick Carlson had the home run as well. So Nick Carlson, his first appearance here in the Legion baseball campaign. Aaron Cohen is now playing at third, moving from left to third. As a batter for Anoka is Tyler Pacta. First pitch swinging in the air, shallow center. And the center fielder, George, comes in. And Pacta retired on a pitch, 1 down.
Well, this game has just been moving along because pitchers are throwing strikes. We're about an hour into the game and already into the 5th inning.
Looks like Paul DeLong is now the left fielder, taking Cohen's spot as he moved to third. And a strike 1 here to Clay Bernard, the number 9 hitter, grounded to short, 0 for 1 tonight. Carlson working quickly.
Bernard's going to play baseball at St. John's next year. Good speed for Anoka.
1 strike, fastball. Carlson coming in, throwing good hard velocity, good hard fastballs here. That's popping the glove of McGee. And he's at 0-2. They're in the top of the 5th, and he delivers to Bernard. Hits it well, left field, well hit. That's out of here. Clay Bernard, the number 9 hitter for Anoka in their lineup. He gets a charge into 1 and ties this game at 2.
Yeah, he got that up into the jet stream right there. Not a kid known for his power, but boy, that ball really carried and just got over the fence, and we were all tied up at 2.
The third hit of the game for Anoka. An RBI and a home run for Clay Bernard. DeLong just ran out of room. He looked up and it was over his head and over the fence. And we have ourselves a brand new ball game here in the top of the fifth inning. Tied at 2. In the top of the order is Sam Poser, who takes ball 1. Poser is grounded to short twice. Going to try to prevent that from happening this time around. In the dirt, 2-0. 2 home runs tonight. Carlson for Champlin. And now Bernard for Anoka. Both almost identical spots over the fence in left field. This one is laced into left center, and Poser is in there with a hit, and that's going to split both George and DeLong. Heading to second, the ball is cut off, and it's a double. So those Anoka bats have awakened here in the top of the fifth inning. 1 down, runner at second with a run in.
Yeah, Poser with a couple balls to shortstop his first 2 times up. This one he elevated a little bit, found the gap out there, and stands at second base now in the go-ahead run for Anoka here in the top of the fifth.
And Hunter Bruner grounded to short, reached on an error. One of 2 errors committed by Champlin here tonight. The Carlson pitch. Low. Ball 1 here for Nick Carlson. Nick Carlson, junior this past season. He'll be a senior at Champlin Park High School coming up in the fall. And his 1-0 delivery. Inside corner. Bruner brushed off a little bit. Trying to sell it a little bit. Didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, that's a good start for Champlin Park High School next year with a kid like Carlson who hit the 2-run home run. And he had a sophomore pitcher starting the game out who held Anoka down, and a junior catcher in McGee. So nice looking crew coming back for Champlin Park Rebels.
1 ball, 2 strikes after that very nice off-speed offering. There's one that stays outside. 2-2. Go-ahead run at second here for Anoka in the top of the fifth. Sam Poser after the double, 2-2 delivery. Fouled at the plate. It'll stay 2-2.
Looks like the wind's died down a little bit here, Jim. Whipping pretty good here early, but obviously Bernard found the jet stream.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Carlson makes a move to second, and Poser is at second. He'll get back. Couple of hits here this inning, and if you missed it, just joining us, Clay Bernard earlier this inning, a solo home run that tied it up. And pulling the string is Carlson, and Bruner tried to hold up. Couldn't do it, and he'll go down swinging 2 down.
Anoka desperately trying to get that run in from second base. The way that Nedlin's going right now, that would be a big run. Huge lead out there by Poser.
First strikeout here for Carlson. Little nubber at the plate. That'll be a foul ball. 1 strike to Braden Cherry. That was the first time Anoka had struck out all night. That was the first strikeout for Champlin pitching here tonight. 1 strike to Cherry. 2 down. If he gets on, it's Logan Jager. Cherry a ground out and a line out 0 for 2. 1 strike. Bounce left side. Short hop by Cohen. The new third baseman throws it over in time to get Cherry. Nice defensive play by the left side of that infield here for Champlin. And that retires Anoka, but damage done. They've tied it up on the solo home run by Bernard. 1 run, 2 hits. And they leave a runner in scoring position as they go to the bottom of the fifth. 4.5. All tied at 2.
Yeah, if you're Don Gowerlich, you got to like seeing your number 9 guy hit one out of the park. I don't know how long he's going to be there if he keeps doing
right.
that.
I don't know the last time I've seen in high school a number 9 hitter hit a home run.
Well, you
gotta
might
be somewhat rare, but a lot of times they'll put a guy that's got a decent bat down there just to serve as like another leadoff man, right?
You know, and usually you put a guy with speed down there. He's
Yes.
almost like a second leadoff guy, and that's what Bernard has. You know, I haven't seen him hit one like that in 2 years, but he's been a good player, but more of a base hit type guy.
And he showed some good excitement on the base pass,
yeah,
too.
he did. Yeah.
You know, a guy who isn't known for hitting home runs, who knows when his next one will come?
Yeah, and you're not used to that home run trot. I think he was moving.
Right, yeah.
He's probably to second base when the ball went out because he wasn't having a hard time believing it went out.
Bottom of the fifth, and here's Champlin. Brand new ball game, tied at 2.
He's going to show that one to his kids someday.
Oh, yeah, it's
on
going to be right here on
QCTV.
QCTV. It's archived forever. Parker Nedlin starting his 5th inning of work. Parker Nedlin did pitch last night. He pitched 5 pitches. He came in the 7th and got a 5-pitch save to finish the game for Provenza, who took the win, and Nedlin got the save. Not a lot of offense in last night's game. Anoka had just 5 hits, but it was a 3-2 win over Buffalo. Donovan Vendel here, the batter. First pitch. Fouls it off the facade. Here, the overhang. The grandstand at Champlin Park High School, 1 strike. Here to Vendel. Donovan going to be a junior. Grounded out to first, 0 for 1.
Good pitching wins a lot of games, Jim. It was, we talked about the playoff run that we had this year and beat Coon Rapids 6-0 in the first game, and then Blaine 3-0, and Blaine 3-1 in another one, and the 2 losses were 3-0 and 2-0, and all of a sudden we're in the finals. So
on the ground to short, over to his left, down into the dirt is Poser, and he fumbled the ball, couldn't get it back in time, and Vendel will be safe on the air. First error charged to Anoka fielders here tonight. Leadoff man is on. Donovan Vendel over at first, and here's Reese George. Number 9 hitter for Champlin. Can he repeat what the Anoka number 9 hitter did at the top half of the inning?
Well, if it was me, I would be bunting with him. And let's get that guy up for the top of the order. Champlin's top of the order is pretty good, and you don't see a whole lot of bunting in summer baseball. Very rarely, and the teams that do if you watch any of the college baseball this last week, there's some really good college baseball teams that bunt a lot, and those are kids who never bunted in high school, and they're bunting and winning games.
Throw over to first. It did skip by Fulstrom, but not enough for Vendel to advance. 1 strike here to Reese George. The set by Nedlin, swing and a miss. 0-2. Nedlin first pitch with a nice curveball that kind of froze George, and then this one here, another breaking ball, and he swings through it, and it's 0-2. Nobody out, runner at first. Bottom of the 5th, and a called strike 3. George goes down looking. 3-pitch strikeout for Parker Nedlin, and that's his 5th strikeout of the game. 1 out.
That's a reason right there when you bunt with your number 9 guy. I'm not sure what kind of hitter George is. He could prove me wrong, and I'm sure he's a good hitter, but yeah, I'm bunting in that situation.
Shorenstein has struck out twice. Throw over to first. That one's by Fulstrom, and will be down towards the bullpen. And trotting to second base, Vendel, he'll stop there.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't bunt. They knew they were going to throw it away, and he's standing on second base anyway. So good call, Coach.
Second, if you've got that kind of clairvoyance or you know what's going to happen, it's really easy.
So both teams have done that now.
Yeah. Second error of the game, or second error of the inning and second error of the game charged here to Anoka. And that go-ahead run here for Champlin now in scoring position. Shorenstein still waiting for his first pitch. Backdoor breaking ball that doesn't quite break across. And it's ball 1. Shorenstein has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. The Nedlin 1-0 pitch, check second. Off the end of the bat, popped up left side, Frecking in foul territory, down the line, turning, and he can't find it. New life here for Shorenstein. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Nedlin's teammates are not helping him out this inning. That you could almost call that an error right there too. So that would be 3. One of them was on himself when he tried to pick him off at first base, but Champlin's sitting out there with that lead run here late in the ball game at second base. Got to make plays.
Oxborough on deck. Shorenstein, 1-1 pitch to the right side, and it's through past Fulstrom into right field. Runner at third will hold. Stop sign for Vendel. He'll stop there. He's at third. Shorenstein on with a base hit. past Fulstrom into right field. 5th hit of the game for Champlin. And here comes a visit to the mound by head coach Don Gowerluck.
I'm sure they're going to talk over what play they're going to run here, first and third. I'm guessing with that being the leadoff hitter or the number 2 hitter. What do we got here at first base? The leadoff guy?
Yeah, Shorenstein at first and Vendel at third.
I'm guessing he can run a little bit, so probably going to let him go. Play your infield in unless you're playing for a double play, but be interested to see what Don does here in a tie ball game in the bottom of 5.
Here at Champlin Park High School, 305 down the right field line, 380 to straightaway center, and 315 down the left field line. Close to being symmetrical, but that left field line 10 feet further than the right field line. So runners at the corners, 1 down. Oxborough, 2 hits here tonight, 2 for 2. And we'll take ball 1, 1-0.
Anoka has them back in the middle, so they're looking to turn a double play here. Oxborough with pretty good speed.
1 down. Laced on a hop into left field. That'll score 1 and give Champlin the lead back. It's 3-2 as Vendel comes in to score on the RBI base hit by Oxborough, and he has himself a 3-hit night.
Yeah, Anoka should have been out of this inning. You know, that was an unearned run with 3 miscues in 1 inning, and you just cannot do that. Champlin takes the lead back here, and it brings Carlson to the plate.
Back-to-back hits, 2nd hit of the inning. 6 hits now in the game for Champlin. And here's the big knocker, Nick Carlson. Big cut on the first offering from Nedlin, fouls it straight back, 1 strike. Carlson 1 for 2 with a home run, the 2-run shot with Oxborough on the base. Had singled, and then Carlson followed it up with the 2-run home run.
Yeah, he took a hack at that one.
1 strike, Nedlin to the pitch. This is hit well to right center field. Towards the gap, and a diving catch by Rassett in right center field. And the runner tagged up, now 2 down. What a catch by Rassett.
Yeah, I don't think Bernard saw it in center field. Rassett had a long way to go for that one. Lays out and makes a beautiful catch and keeps us at a 1-run game.
Shorenstein advances to third, so now runners the corners again, first and third, now with 2 out. And Kellen McGee will be the batter with a strikeout and a ground out 0 for 2 tonight. That great diving catch kept it a 3-2 game.
It's a dangerous hitter here for Champlin Park, too, and McGee.
0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out to third. And Nedlin will step off the rubber. Nedlin's gone the distance here. 4 2/3. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string a bit there. McGee out in front. 1 strike.
Yeah, these are the kind of hitters that you throw that changeup to, and Parker Nedlin's not afraid to throw it. I don't know if he's going to give him a fastball at all.
1 strike delivery. Another breaking ball. Short hop by Frecking. On the run. Throws it over to first. And Fulstrom at first did not come up with it. It looked like he did. He had a stretch, and he comes up a little bit lame, it looks, maybe, or not. That's quite the stretch. He really did the splits over there and did his best to get to that ball in the dirt, but could not hold it into his glove. Shorenstein scores, and it's 4-2 Champlin.
Yeah, nice play by Frecking at third base. Didn't quite have enough on the throw. Frecking, like you said, had a big stretch over there at first, and I think he had the ball in his glove for a little bit there. Then it dropped out at the last second and cost Anoka another run, and they're now down by 2.
4-2 score. Number 5 hitter Aaron Cohen. Runners at first and second now. Oxborough at second. McGee's at first. And a swing and a miss by Cohen, who's now playing at 3rd base. One strike here. Cohen grounded to first, flied to right. Couple of runs in here for Champlin. In the air to center. Bernard and Rassett. And it's Rassett who covers good ground on right field, makes the running catch there to retire Cohen. Second straight fly out off the bat of Cohen to right field. And Champlin retired in the bottom of the fifth, but they get a couple of runs to reclaim the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 3 Anoka errors, and they leave 2 on. Champlin reclaiming the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. We played 5. We moved to the 6th inning. 4-2 Champlin here on QCTV Sports.
For Donnelly.
Rebels here at home. They could have some home games.
Scores!
3 touchdowns, all to Masuku. He's got 1 on the ground. What a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle. She sends one low. Save is made. Follow-up shot. Score by Max. Whether or not that's
Great look at a goal! Anoka! Gets through. You see right there, guys, Bernovic with a shot.
There you see some of the banners that are on display here for Champlin Park High School. The first banner you saw was Gopher Classic Legion champs last year. Champlin won that. The 2023 Gopher Classic Championship, and that's nothing to shake a stick at. You win that tournament with the teams that are there. That's quite an accomplishment. That's like a mini regional or state tournament when you take a look at that, as it's Anoka leading it off here in the top of the 6th inning, and Logan Jager pulls it foul.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment, Jim. Had a chance to watch a few games last year. Anoka actually made a pretty good run last year. But, there's teams from Nebraska and South Dakota and North Dakota and Wisconsin. They're from everywhere, and to win that's a great feather in the hat of Champlin's Legion.
It's a 4-2 game, top of the 6th. Jager, Folstrom, and Frecking. And co-head coach Spencer Robinson is having a talk with our home plate umpire tonight. In fact, with talking about the Gopher Classic, Castle Field will be one of the host fields again in the preliminary rounds, July 12th, 13th, and 14th. Anoka will be there with Osseo, Rapid City, South Dakota, Omaha Central out of Nebraska, Tri-City Maroon, Stillwater will be there. So those teams will be vying in the Castle Field portion of the preliminary rounds for the annual, and one might even call humongous, Gopher Classic.
Yeah, Stillwater, I'm not sure how many of their guys play Legion or they're playing club ball, but we had a chance to play them this year, and they're one of the better high school teams I've seen in all the years I've coached. I mean, they could really play, and they didn't even make the state tournament. They got beat by Eastridge, who has a couple of D1 pitchers, but Stillwater has quite the program over there.
So Coach Robinson once again talking to his pitcher, Nick Carlson, and he's talking about the rubber, and it looks like he's giving him some instructions, and that's something about summer ball. You're kind of coaching. You don't have a lot of practices, do you, in summer ball?
No.
You might have a couple before the season just to get everybody acclimated and whatnot. Sometimes that coaching has to happen in the games, and they've kind of been instructing Nick Carlson a little bit on what to do on the mound. As far as rubber etiquette, Logan Jager pops it up, straight back and foul, no balls and 2 strikes.
And
that one hit our truck. Ladies and gentlemen, second of the year. First of the summer season, though. Uh-oh. Better call Earl Scheid.
Is there some kind of prize for that?
I don't know. I think there's an over-under before the season starts in the fall. I think there's an over-under, and people place their bets on how many balls, pucks, and whatever else will hit the truck during the season. Pop fly on the right side of the infield. Sandell makes a catch. Jager retired. The Anoka catcher one out.
Looks like we have Mason Brent coming up here as a pinch hitter for Luke Folstrom. Brent, just a sophomore, and a lot of power in this kid. He's a big offensive lineman who started this year as a sophomore at Anoka, and he can hit a long ball if he gets a hold of it.
Well, he had the only home run on the high school season. Hits this one to the right side. Little pop-up in the infield caught by Janisch. 2 down. So Brent, the pitch hitter here in the number 5 spot. He goes down, and with 2 down, nobody on, they'll leave it up to Evan Frecking. Frecking a single and a fielder's choice. 1 for 2 tonight. 4-2, Champlin leading Anoka. Top of the 6th inning. Nick Carlson, second pitcher of the night here for Champlin. First pitch, swing and a miss for Frecking. Wiley was the starter, went the first 4 innings. He's not quite the pitcher of record, because Carlson came in the 5th, and Champlin scored their go-ahead runs in the 5th. So right now it's Nick Carlson's game to win, but Wiley giving up just the 1 run in his start. It was unearned, 3 hits, walked 2, didn't strike out anybody. This one is just inside and misses. 2 balls and 1 strike to Frecking. If he gets on, Rassett would follow.
Yeah, Parker Nedlin's pitching a nice game for Anoka. 2 earned runs, a couple of unearned runs.
Evening the count 2-2. Frecking out in front, pulled that one well foul. Towards the bullpens down the left field line. Home plate umpires out of baseballs. One comes in from the Anoka dugout. Nicholas Carlson, junior this past year for Champlin Park High School. Will be a senior next year. Trying to end the inning here, 2-2 to Frecking with 2 down. Swing and a miss, and he did. A sweeping breaking ball that Frecking chased. Frecking down swinging, 3 up, 3 down. And Anoka's down in the top of the 6th. We'll both go to the bottom of the 6th. They were moving right along here tonight at Champlin Park High School, as it's Champlin 4, Anoka 2.
Yeah, both teams, their pitchers are throwing strikes, and the only difference in the game so far has been a couple errors last inning by Anoka that allowed Champlin Park to score a couple runs and take a 4-2 lead. One of Anoka's runs was on a box, so it's just, simple baseball. Make the plays, do the right things, you can win games. And it looks like Anoka's got a couple of changes here with Lang coming in to pitch for Anoka. And Parker Seaman is now the catcher for Anoka. Those are the only couple of changes that I see out there.
Well, it really pays to have you do color commentary here when Anoka's playing, because you can just, by seeing the players, you know the changes.
True.
I don't have to look for numbers or anything.
Right.
I love that, Pete. Thank you so much.
And I actually know how to say the names.
That helps, too. So Parker Seaman is the new catcher, and Trevor Lang is the new pitcher. Lang graduated here this past spring. And Parker Seaman will be a senior in the fall. So he just finished his junior season here for the Anoka Tornadoes.
Yeah, Lang is outfielder first. He didn't pitch any for us this spring, but I know he did last year a little bit. And with all those games you were talking about,
right,
you have to have arms. So I'm sure they had a certain pitch count for Parker Nedlin, and he probably used that up. That's why you hate seeing those errors. You know, you can. That's 3 extra outs last inning that could have probably got him through the 6th inning here.
Yeah, when you think of close games, those little plays here or there truly do make a difference.
Well, that was one of the things, Jim, that happened to us this year, where we had Nedlin down to the last couple outs, and we had to switch him out and ended up losing a couple ball games. So, yeah, the errors are costly, and everybody knows that. I'm not telling anybody who watches baseball anything new.
So spring or summer, this is Trevor Lang's debut on the mound for Anoka. Janisch, Sandell, and Vendel, the new batters here for Champlin. And the first offering, ball one, 1-0. Janisch here tonight, grounded to first, singled, and was stranded in the fourth. 1 ball, no strikes. The Lang pitch, outside, 2-0.
He's almost like a position player coming in a major league game, only they come in when it's a 10-run lead. So you want them to just throw strikes, let your defense work.
2-0 goes sidearm, lined up through the middle, and a base hit for Janisch, his second hit of the game. 7th hit overall here for Champlin tonight. Leadoff man on. Janisch is 2 for 3 tonight. Brockton Sandell. Actually, we're going to get a pinch hitter for him. It'll be Tristan Wexeth. So Wexeth bats here in the 6th inning. Sandell gone 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Actually, a fly out. He flew out to Folstrom in an infield fly. 1 strike here to Wexeth as he takes the first pitch.
If you're Champlin Park, you want to add on here. 1 more run would be big. Now, the difference of 2 runs and a 3-run lead is pretty big in baseball.
1 strike offering up high, 1-1. And of course, for Anoka here, they would like to keep it 4-2. Certainly, if you have, if you fancy trying to come back in the top of the 7th inning, the closer you keep it, the better. 1-1. Had him flinching, and it's a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, we've seen a couple balls hit pretty good, and it seems to be carrying it out. So, yeah, you keep it to 2, get a guy on base, and try to hit one out of the ballpark.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Lang, swing and a miss. Struck him out. So that's his first varsity or he did pitch some last year for varsity baseball or for Legion.
Actually, he pitched in the JV last year, and then I think he pitched some for the Legion team too last year.
He gets a strikeout here. Wexeth, the pinch hitter, goes down. 1 down.
He was like, I want nothing to do with that varsity pitching.
And Vendel steps to the plate, and he gets hit on the first pitch. That'll put him on base. Janisch goes to second. First and second, 1 out. Number 9 hitter, Reese George. Anoka in the top of the 7th, if you're wondering, they will have the bottom third of their order. Rassett, Pacta, and Bernard. But that bottom third of the order has produced a single and a home run here in the game tonight. And that home run from the number 9 hitter, Clay Bernard, who is due in the top of the 7th. George 0 for 2 time call. Parker Seaman, the catcher, will go out and talk to Trevor Lang.
Nice job by him to get out there and talk it over. They didn't seem to be on the same page, and that happens when you got a guy who doesn't pitch very much. So Parker went out and made sure that we're both on the same page here.
Better to be safe or sorry.
Absolutely.
Lang foul back just over the screen and towards the parking lot. Strike 1 to Reese George.
That's the nice thing, Jim, about baseball. You can just call timeout and go out there. And, in hockey, you don't know how many times as a hockey coach I wanted to call timeout.
Right. And you only have one the whole game.
You get one, yeah. I like to have one every 4 shifts.
Right. I love that about hockey. You're on your own. You got 1 timeout, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you challenge a play and lose, guess what? You lose that timeout.
You don't have a timeout anymore.
Swing and a miss there. No balls and 2 strikes to Reese George. 0-2. Top of the order for Champlin on deck. 1 out. Threatening to add to their 4-2 lead here. Vendel at first. Janisch at second. 0-2. And it hit him. So that's back-to-back hit batters. Janisch to third, Vendel to second. George is at first. Base is loaded here for Champlin. Here comes Don Gowerlich out of the dugout here for Anoka.
Yeah, we'll see what Don does here. He's going to stick with him. Probably is. You know, with games tomorrow and another one on Thursday, you're going to have to ride him and hope he can throw some strikes here and keep you in the ball game.
Yeah, little adversity for the young man. So you got to dig down. Trying to keep your team as close as possible. Infield will move in. Bases loaded, 1 out, and top of the order. Brady Shorenstein has struck out twice, singled his last at bat, scored one of the 2 runs in the 5th inning. Run that made it 4-2, a little bit of insurance back in the 5th. Lang to the plate, swing and a miss, strike 1 for Shorenstein.
A good start there by Trevor Lang. Get that first pitch in there.
Swing and a miss. And this isn't Shorenstein. This is Paul DeLong, who's now out in left field. Because they took Wiley out. They brought DeLong in. And he's now in the DH spot, batting first. Takes low, just missed.
That's good pitch right there by Lang.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Shorenstein had struck out, singled, and scored a run. 1-2. Bouncer to the right side and foul.
Yeah, he's hanging in there. The last thing you want to do is take a third strike here with bases loaded. I always say don't get cheated. Go after it. Make sure that the ump doesn't cheat you, and you take that outside one the other way.
Lang trying to get the batter here and at the same time not give up a run. Then the infield can move back. 1-2. Missed it outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To DeLong.
Yeah, he can't mess around. You know, he's been a little bit wild here. You got to make sure that you get it in there with 2-2.
2-2 to DeLong. Goes sidearm, and he gets it off the backside. Backdoor curveball. Snuck it across, and DeLong down looking. Strikeout. Second of the inning here for Lang.
Now, Lang's brother, Austin Lang, he pitches at Augsburg, and he's a good pitcher there. Big, tall kid. Lang's also a hockey player at Anoka, but yeah, his brother might have taught him a few things.
First pitch swinging. This will be lined over a leaping Pockton into center. 1 run is in. Janisch has scored. Here comes Vandal. He'll score. Throw not in time. 2 runs in for Champlin. A 2-run, 2-out single for Oxborough. And it's now 6-2 Champlin.
Yeah, big hit right there for Champlin Park. Oxbow, he's had a nice night in the field and at the plate. A senior leader here for Champlin's Legion team.
2 hits in the inning, 2 runs in. Georgians is up at third. Oxborough goes to second. It's a single, and he goes to second on the throw. And Oxborough now a 4-hit night. 3 runs batted in. And the first pitch here to Nick Carlson.
Man, that's a season for some guys.
Yes, Carlson is now pitching. Takes a strike, 1 down. 2 outs. But Champlin has added to their lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 strike to Carlson. Flinched, and it's 2 strikes.
Yeah, nice little curveball there by Trevor Lang.
Lang has struck out 2 here in this inning. Parker Nedlin had gone 5. Gave up 4 runs, 2 earned. That pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nedlin gave up 6 hits. Struck out 5. And didn't walk anybody. Just missed outside there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good chance right here to really separate Champlin from Anoka. Runners on second and third already up by 4. With only 3 more outs for Anoka.
2-2 to Carlson. And Lang was ahead 0-2, but now he's run the string out here 3-2. Again, Parker Nedlin did not pitch too poorly here tonight. I mean, 5 innings, just the 2 earned runs, scattered 6 hits. 3-2 pitch missed away. First base was empty, so that's not a bad play there. To be very careful with Nick Carlson, even though you're ahead with him 0-2. May have got too careful there, Pete, but still, that does load the bases. But if you're going to walk anybody here with the first base empty, it might be Nick Carlson.
Yeah, the way he's been hitting the ball here in this first game. Good hitter right here, though, in McGee.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier. McGee
No.
will take strike one. McGee reached in an air. He's 0 for 3 tonight, strikeout and a ground out. Bases loaded for Champlin. They're a hit away from blowing this one open a little bit, up 6-2. One strike pitch, sidearm delivery, hit sharply left field, and that's down the line. One hops the fence. This should clear the bases. Rounding third and coming around is Carlson, and he'll score a bases-clearing double. 3-run double for McGee.
Yeah, that was hit on a rope there.
9-2.
Yeah, that was over the left fielder's head. Noah Quam, who's moved out into left field for Anoka, before he even moved. Exit velocity, we could probably find that someplace.
Not on my phone. I don't have the app. So McGee going to get his sliding gloves, the oven mitts. So a double and 3 runs batted in. Big 6th inning here, adding some big insurance here for Champlin, now 9-2. Lang to the plate. Cohen, the 9th man to bat here for Champlin in the 6th inning.
Yeah, they came out of blazing and taking advantage of an inexperienced pitcher in Trevor Lang. There goes another one.
This one's hit well. In the air and back and making the catch.
That was Noah Quam.
Noah Quam, number 5, is out in left field and now, and he makes the catch. Struggled with it, but credit to him, he kept with it and makes the catch, but not before a huge 6th inning here for Champlin. The big hit, the 3-run double by Kellen McGee. 5 runs here in this inning on 3 hits, and they leave 1 on. We'll go to the 7th. We played 6. And a big mountain to climb here for Anoka. It's Champlin 9 and Anoka 2 heading to the 7th here on QCTV Sports.
Rum River Art Center is your local nonprofit organization located in the Old Milk Factory near downtown Anoka. Our nearly 6,000 square feet of windy and whimsical studio spaces are filled with inspiration. At Rum River Art Center, we embrace individuals of all artistic abilities and focus on the healing aspect of the process over your final product. We pride ourselves in offering classes with a huge variety of mediums at an affordable price. From one-time ceramic wheel throwing classes to multi-week painting courses, from creating at the Art Center to finding us at your local library, we believe art is the catalyst for connecting human beings to each other and themselves. Come visit us or check out our website, rumriverart.com, for more info on classes, galleries, special events, and how you can support the arts in your community.
Well, Nick Carlson in to try and wrap this one up. Again, he is the pitcher of record to get the win, as he came in the 5th inning, and Champlin Park, that's when they broke the 2-2 tie. So he's trying to wrap up the victory here for Champlin. They'll face the bottom third of the Anoka order. Rassett, Pockton, Bernard, the new batters. Rassett in the on-deck circle. Carly Gilk, Champlin Park volleyball star. It's a good eye by somebody in the truck. I don't know if I saw Champlin Park play volleyball this year in our broadcast. I don't know if I had them on any of the broadcasts, but of course, well known for their volleyball here at Champlin Park High School.
Yeah, they had another nice team this year. I did one of their games, and yeah, she was a good player for them.
Of course, going back to the Sydney Hilly days.
Yeah, she could play a little bit.
Yeah. Marshall Rassett leads it off here, strike 1. Rassett a walk, grounded out to a double play. 9-2 Champlin. Carlson to the plate, and a called strike, 0-2. Carlson starting his 3rd inning. He's given up 1 run, couple of hits, couple of strikeouts here. In relief, and in line to get the win if he can keep Anoka in check. Pop fly off of the Rassett bat. Shallow left field, and again battling the sun. And DeLong battles, but again, as a number of the guys have done out in left field, they've stuck with it. And the catch is made, one down.
Yeah, I think he saw that, and then he lost it, and then he saw it. And like you said, Jim, he stuck with it and made a nice catch out there in left field. But that sun is definitely playing havoc.
And despite whatever you have, you've got a visor, you got the flip-down glasses, the regular glasses, you got the eye black on. Sometimes it just does not matter. The sun is a powerful celestial being.
Yes, it is.
Here's Tyler Pachta batting. And a couple of hops to short. Oxborough, who was busy early, not as busy late, at least with the glove, throws him out. 6-3, 2 down. Oxborough's been pretty busy with the bat. 4 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. And now Anoka trailing at 9-2. They're down to their final out here with Clay Bernard, who did add some excitement for Anoka earlier with a solo home run that tied the game back in the 5th inning. First pitch swinging here, popped up straight back out of play.
Yeah, Oxborough, the guy who was making all the play, he has his sunglasses on the back of his hat. There's no way that he's getting those back over. And he's making all the plays, and he's got no sunglasses on.
Yeah, that would be quite a trick. I don't know. You'd have to be pretty fast.
Yes.
Might have to be the Flash in order to get him in place to be useful. There's a called strike, 0-2. Anoka now down to their final strike. Bernard gets on, top of the order. Sam Poser on deck. Nobody on. 2 down here in the top of the 7th. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a change. And Bernard goes down swinging. Good finish here for Nick Carlson as he gets the win for Champlin. As Anoka goes down in order. 1, 2, 3. Final score from Champlin Park High School. Our Legion season opener. 9-2. Champlin over Anoka. Pete, your thoughts?
Well, you know what? We had a great ball game. It was fun to watch. Good defense, a little bit of clutch hitting, some power, good pitching. And then all of a sudden a couple of errors opened up the gate, and Champlin rushed through and scored a bunch of runs and come away with a 9-2 win. So it'll be fun watching both of these teams as they progress this summer.
See both teams' upcoming schedules there. Tanner Wiley started for Champlin, went the first 4 innings, 1 run. It was unearned. 2 hits, 2 walks, but did not get the decision. Nick Carlson gets the win, pitching the final 3 innings. 1 run, 2 hits, struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. He gets the win, 1-0 on the season. The loss goes to Parker Nedlin. Went the first 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits, struck out 5, didn't walk anybody. Trevor Lang came in the 6th inning, gave up 5 runs, all earned, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. He walked a couple of hitters as well. Offensively, the big excitement tonight, Champlin. Nick Carlson with a 2-run homer in the first, and then the guy who scored in front of him and batted in front of him in the lineup here tonight, Chase Oxborough, 4 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. The offensive highlights for Champlin. For Anoka, offensive highlights, certainly Clay Bernard with the solo home run, the number 9 hitter in the 5th inning. For Champlin here tonight, 9 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, they leave 5. And for Anoka, 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, they leave 4. Anoka evens their season at 1-1 with the loss. And again, tomorrow they'll host Blaine. They host Osseo on Thursday. And for Champlin Park, 1-0 to start their season. Coming up tomorrow, they'll host Armstrong. Thursday, they host Brooklyn Park. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they head to Alexandria for a tournament. Pete, thank you. Nice working with you.
Always fun working with you, Jim. Hopefully we'll see you down the line here this summer.
Well, we had baseball. How about some ducks on the pond? There were some of those here tonight, especially for Champlin, and especially in that 6th inning, they were able to convert those ducks on the pond here tonight on their way to a 9-2 victory. For everybody in the truck, for Ryan, and for Trinity and the whole crew, along with Pete Hayes at Champlin Park High School, I'm Jim Erickson. Again, your final, Champlin 9, Anoka 2 on QCTV Sports.